Hi, I'm Siren Adrian Cator, a second-year BSCS student here at Gordon College from Block 2A, and I just finished my Practicum 1 OJT. Para sa mga di nakakaalam, Practicum 1 is basically where us students get thrown into a real workplace where we are expected to be given real tasks and are expected to actually deliver great results for the company that we have worked on. And where I got sent, this is where the story actually starts. So my OGT was at A+ Solutions Development Center. And this isn't just a random company out of nowhere, no. This is the place that literally co-organizes an entire robotics competition, the Olongapo City Robotics Cup, which, fun fact, I have volunteered for 2 straight years. But before anything, no, I had to actually get in the company. And that did not just happen overnight or after a single message lang. I want to get into A+ because it is not just a robotics center, because it is the robotics center in Olongapo City. It is literally the first robotics center established here in Olongapo City. And I already had history with them, with me volunteering for the OCRC. So this isn't just some random or code application that somehow na malalapay nila and I am hoping for the best. This actually like, please, sana matandaan nyo ako, please. Please, A+, sana matandaan nyo. And now, when I actually was trying to send the application to A+ though, I literally felt the weight of the universe coming upon me. I remember rereading my entire application letter like six or seven times before I send it to A+, because that is how I actually want to get in A+ badly. And then after a straight month of back and forth between me and the admin staff at APSD, I actually got in. But getting in was the easiest part na. I actually had to do a job. And oh boy, it was a very chaotic day. Day 1. So, I have a small confession though on that day. I almost didn't make it on time. I walked in with literally 3 minutes left to spare. Not the best first impression I was going for, pero hey, I made it. But anyway, our OJT briefing covered the rules, expectations, and we met the entire A+ team. And we also presented our past projects to help our supervisor assign us tasks for the future. Then on the afternoon, we did inventory verification of the entire Arduino kits in the center. Every single piece of electronic component and equipment, we did count. And we also audited and labeled yung mga missing parts in some of the kits. So it was a grueling process, but overall it was a very productive first day at A+. Now, somewhere in the middle of this week, the most important day of my OJT happened. June 10, 2026. Rolly, I'm calling it right now. Bronson. OG Anonobi game winner. During the entire week, we built the paper-mache prototype for Salinlahi. Yes, paper-mache. Very elementary nga atake. But it's actually the mock-up of what we needed before the real build actually starts. Pero, hey, what is Salinlahi? Salinlahi is the robotics project of A+ that will compete in the Philippine Robotics Olympiad. They are presented by elementary students, Pio and Jello. It brings interactive learning about Olongapo City and its AITA community through a smart rover. So it's generally one of the coolest concepts I've ever worked on because I'm a history nerd myself. During the week as well, I also helped with the quality assurance of the Salinlahi website, testing features, hunting bugs, and making sure that every function actually does what it's supposed to do. So this is all part of the foundation for what is an exciting project ahead. So yeah, that was week 1. I was still kinda getting used to the environment A+, kasi kumbaga nang balot pa rin ako nahiya, especially sa mga staff because most of the time, wala pa kami masyadong gawain. Pero for the following week, it all changed. Kasi papalapit na yung Philippine Robotics Olympiad, which is due to happen in the 3rd week of OJT. Kaya buong 2nd week, we went to work. So let's pick up where we left off. So we continued the QA and testing of the Salin Lahi website. So same drill, clicking every button, testing every feature, you know the drill na. And now for one of my favorite tasks of this week and probably the entire OGT. So I led the research on Olongapo City and the Aita community, which is the actual content that goes into Salin Lahi. And this really matters a lot, no? Kasi remember, Salin Lahi is supposed to teach people about Olongapo and the Aita community through this smart rover. So whatever I got wrong in this research, no, the rover will confidently tell listeners or viewers wrong information about Olongapo and the Aita community. So I also implemented text-to-speech and background music into the website of Salin Lahi.
Arriving in Luzon roughly 50,000 years ago.
So now the site just doesn't look interactive, it also feels and sounds interactive. And then I switched some gears for a bit and designed the t-shirt para sa A+ PRO team. So we went through a few revisions, started with something busier, more colorful, then ended up going full minimalist na lang. And then, Sunday happened. Me and Rolly came in to help calibrate the robot's color sensoring and ultrasonic capabilities. So, very real hands-on work dito. And more on the coding side din ng robot. So, actual robotics work. Pero except, plot twist, Sunday hours don't count. So, officially, as far as the OGT records are concerned, no, this day never happened. And I was never at the center on Sunday. So yeah, that was week 2. More QA, research, shirt design, and a Sunday that doesn't exist. So, we can officially say that we are ready for the PRO, right? Except, we started this week with the final adjustments of the Salin Lahi website.
DevOps. Rolly Chow.
So at this point, it is more on fine-tuning na than building itself. But here's the actual plot twist of the week. So, we were hitting limits on the database. And very real and chargeable limits then. It is the thing that kind of threatened to break the entire Salin Lahi website. But there was a way though. Firebase offered $300 free credits to developers. So what did I do? I pulled out my own debit card and grabbed some free credits to stabilize and unlock the database.
It's my credit card information to save this project. All for Hindi, pero yun, we just saved the project kasi malapit na siya mag-exit.
So after that whole ordeal, no, we were all on the edge for a few different reasons then. Number one is, would the database actually hit its limit again? Because Pio and Jello would actually present this to hundreds of people inside the Mall of Asia. And number two, after all that, no, could Salin Lahi actually place in the Philippine Robotics Olympiad? And number three, is my wallet going to survive that entire ordeal? Pero turns out, we didn't have to worry as much as we did because Salin Lahi placed 3rd place in the Philippine Robotics Olympiad. Very worth it. Very, very worth it. Congrats, Pio and Jello. With that win in the books, no, we were all rejoicing as all of our efforts had paid off. No, those weekend shifts, QA, calibration, and my debit card charges, yeah, it was all worth it in the end. And to this day, I can officially say that I have been charged almost 3 pesos for Salin Lahi's continued database work. And lastly, shout out to Rolly and Kel for basically carrying the entire project. No, they helped Pio and Jello from coding to calibration and everything. You could say that they are one of the heroes of this project, and A+ wouldn't have been successful if it wasn't for their mad efforts then. And after that whole PRO week, no, we switched over to game design mode and work on board design for RoboRhythm, specifically line tracing and robo maze layouts. Basically, I got to design the actual playground, no, yung mga robots will be tested on. So it was very fun and generally tricky to balance because I want to have a map that is simple yet it can trick the robot in multiple ways. Pero to introduce din ulit, RoboRhythm is regional-wide robotics competition for Region 3. And then I closed out the week making pub mats for the A+ Facebook page. I do love making pub mats, so this work definitely is one of my favorites din in this entire OGT journey. So yeah, that was week 3. On to week 4. So we kick things off this week with more board game designs, especially online tracing. Then move on to writing proposed game rule documentations for the Robo Mission boards for RoboRhythm. And I also built 3D mock-ups of the game boards using SketchUp. Wow, nagamit ko yung SketchUp from NC3. So honestly, it was a nice little task then because of course we used it in our NC3 test and I didn't think that we would use it again And then we close out the entire week with my favorite of them all, inventory duty. So sorting, verifying stock for building Lego core kits using Spike.
Ano naman sa araw namin?
Very good, very nice. Medyo kalmado, peaceful.
Wala sila Kel, di ba?
Yeah.
Dapat. Ito naman sa araw to. Okay, thank you so much. Prince, ano masabi mo ngayon sa araw na to?
Peak.
That's nice. Alright.
So yeah, that was week 4. Medyo nararamdaman ko na rin na patapos na yung OJT dito because our tasks were dwindling. And then, onto my final week. Week 5.
A+ Nation. Tingnan mo ito mga to, pumasok na sila ngayong araw. Crazy.
So back again with my favorite, inventory duty. So sorting and kit creation ulit. And then I shifted into editing mode, working on the video template for the Sanin Lahi presentation at the WRO. So another creative task which I also like because I'm a freelance video editor myself. So having to edit a video for A+, and especially for a concept that will go worldwide is very flattening indeed.
Ang dami mga baliw na nag-vlog dito. Sep, may miss ko yung mga lakad natin pa uwi. Okay, for the final time in this vlog. Peace out! Joke lang. Wala akong ganun. Woo! Yun!
And after 200 hours, over 500 pesos spent on transportation, countless memories and tiring days, I'm done. I'm actually done. And to be honest though, those 5 weeks are some of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. To my A+ family, no, it was a pleasure working with you all. Thank you for welcoming and accepting us into your amazing company, and your vision for Olongapo City and your commitment to giving students access to smart robotic solutions is something I will stand by for years to come. So from top to bottom, you're very cohesive unit, and I wish everyone at A+ a great future ahead. Shout out Ma'am Jana, Ma'am Trish, Ma'am Aimee, and especially to our managing directress, Ma'am Ai. And to my co-workers and blockmates din, I know we can be unserious sometimes in our workplace. I'm actually annoyed by myself in some occasions, no? But it has been a privilege to work with some of the most talented people in our program. And you could say we made history together, and we will continue to pave the way for our future in the computing industry. And to me, I deserve a pat in the back. Serving as a CCSSC president in the middle of a 200-hour practicum while also thinking about my family made for a stressful month now. But I pulled it off. There's so much I've learned throughout this journey. I learned that great company needs great people to make it work. I learned that we need to let ourselves loose sometimes and have some fun. And lastly, I learned that whatever challenges we may face, just like a phoenix, we will continue to rise from the ashes and carry on with the battle that is life. Thank you for watching.
Technically, hindi pa naman